kazi na hii watu. Sasa hii kitu ya manyumba hii hawataki. You know? Hata tukijaribu kuwaambia, they are not interested. Because even many times I would go with the president and he would start speaking. Normally he would take between 15 to 30 minutes depending on the mood he's in and how the crowd is and the reception. So with the time had started, how long he takes. So once he starts and I decide that he'll take 25 minutes, I would go and mix with the people when we are launching those projects. They would clearly just say they are not interested.
Mr. Gachagua, you're telling us that most of the advices you gave, you're saying you gave an opinion about SHA,
yes.
It was never had. You gave an opinion about the housing levy, yes. It was never had nor implemented.
It wasn't.
Then why did you insist on serving for that long? Why didn't you resign?
Well,
you were in a government
yes.
that clearly didn't want to heed your advice as the president's principal assistant.
Well, President William Ruto had not given me the job, so I was given by the people of Kenya. And there were a few things that I was doing that were okay. I was quite busy and happy to do the coffee reforms. I was quite happy to do the tea reforms. I was very happy to do reforms in the data sector.
Which you claimed were eventually sabotaged by Parliament. Up until recently.
But there was something that I was doing. I was working on the ACO program, and I felt there were a few things that I could continue doing that were beneficial to the people of Kenya. And since I had been employed by the people of Kenya, I could not leave the job simply because I'm not being listened to, because there were a few things on my own that I was doing quite successfully.
It would have been insincere, because you are saying even the ones you the work you did was sabotaged. You're saying you are given the job by the people of Kenya and you could not leave.
No, it was by the work I was doing was going very well until a decision was made to get rid of me. And then people now started sabotaging the programs that I was doing, like the alcohol program I was doing was very successful. I did very serious meetings at the coast, at Eastern, at Central, at Rift Valley, and working with all the stakeholders in the security sector, KRA, KEBS, and everybody else, who were able actually to bring sanity in the villages in terms of drug and alcohol abuse. And my spouse, Pastor Dorcas, was also doing a different program and our office on addiction and rehabilitation, and it was working very well. And I was saying, even if I did nothing else, I was quite happy to remain as deputy president to do that program. But along the way, when a decision was made that I must leave office by way of impeachment, that decision was made about a year ago. So it's been a long struggle for a year. That is when it was decided that I must be removed from office, because I'm stubborn, because I'm asking too many questions, because I'm not defending corruption, because I'm not defending programs that cannot be defended. And that is when it started now interfering. The coffee subsector, money that had been voted for, about for the cherry fund, about 4 billion, they only listed 500 million, so that I can fail, so that then they can blame me of not working on the coffee sector. You know, people like the KTDA was involved in the fertilizer program, subsidization of fertilizer for tea, and money was never released, so that I could fail. Those things happened the last 1 year. The first 1 year we worked well. I think the last year is when the president decided that I'm too much. He cannot control me. I'm asking too many questions. I'm not a yes person. I am difficult. I'm stubborn, in his own words. I'm erratic, and all those things he would say. That is when now the good programs that I was doing that were very successful were sabotaged.
You've made your point. Let's now speak about the current situation. We are at a season where we are seeing you actively rallying up the Mount Kenya region. What is your...
Kenya is a country made of communities and regions. And in our politics, since the advent of multipartyism, no region can govern this country on its own. It's always people coming together and they agreeing on what to do. And all politics is local. Much as I'm a national leader, as you come to the national table, you must come from somewhere and you must bring something on the table. So I come from the Mount Kenya region. that President William Ruto asked me to help galvanize to support him, and I did successfully, and he got 87% of the vote. And from where I sit, from the history of that region, whenever it has been divided, it has always gone to the opposition. Any one time it has been united, it has always been part of government, either as a king or the kingmaker. And we learned many lessons in 1992 when we got divided into Fordasili and DP, and 1997. So from 2002, 2007, 2013, 2017, 2022, we were united. So as a deputy president and as a senior leader from that region, I took it upon myself to unite the region for its relevance in the national political discourse, so that when we engage other Kenyans, we engage from a position of strength and respect. And one of the issues that we disagreed with the president was my refusal for him to create division in the mountain, because the president wanted to have counties that he would control directly without the center. And I saw danger in that politically for the region in future. And I was telling him, no, we can't divide the mountain. The mountain supported you as one. It should remain as one. And I started that agitation to unite the mountain successfully. And at a certain point, I think he was advised that it is possible to divide the Mount Kenya east and west. And they tried to do that, but it cannot work. And I'm sure the day we were in Embu, he went home knowing that the mountain is one. In fact, the leaders who were there who were cheered wildly were from the west by the people of the east, President Uhuru Kenyatta and I. And there was somebody from the east. The mountain is one. So going forward, even as I'm out of office, I have a responsibility as a leader from that region to continue working on our unity, to continue telling our people that their relevance in the national political discourse will be informed by their unity of purpose. And I'm very happy that the ordinary people from that region are united to a man. And the division is only at the leadership level, because there's interference from other people from outside. But the ordinary people are one.
So with this information, then what does your future hold? Are you seeking to unite the mountain so that you can get to join, to form coalitions? Are you seeking to unite the mountain?
Not necessarily. I'm just being responsible as a leader from the area, because the region looks upon me to guide on how we move on. After this impeachment, there was a lot of confusion and disquiet. Now what happens to the region? Where are we moving from here? So I have a responsibility to put our people together. And I don't need to be deputy president to do that. I'm a leader who is accepted in that region and loved by the people of that region, because they know me and they believe in me. And I am consulting a lot. I am not working alone. We are talking with other political leaders. We are talking with other political parties. We are talking to church leaders. We are talking to professionals. We are talking to business people. We are talking to the young people. And this consultation is very extensive. It will take this December and the bigger part of January. I'm sure early February we'll have come up with something we can give to our people.
You've said you're talking with other political leaders, yes. And there has been talk out there that you are headed to join forces with Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka, Eugene Wamalwa, Natembea, and those.
I think people are jumping the gun. Kalonzo Musyoka and Eugene Wamalwa are great leaders of this country, and definitely we can work together. Absolutely. And of course, myself and the people of the mountain were very happy with the stand Kalonzo Musyoka took during the impeachment to stand with me. And our people are normally very grateful people. They remember good deeds. And we have listened to what Kalonzo is saying, and we like what he is saying. So there are opportunities that we can always work together. And in fact, there was a cultural meeting between the Gikuyu, the Embu, and the Meru, and the Akamba, trying to coin something that they work together. And I want to encourage, that's a very good discussion. Because you know the Akamba people are our cousins. In fact, it's unfortunate we had not been talking earlier. But you know, God's timing is always the best. So, but we have not agreed on any alliance with anybody. What is happening is that leaders who are like-minded talk with each other. But before we can even come to that, you cannot go to discuss with other people before you put your house in order. We need to put our house in order. And the mountain, we made serious mistakes in 2022. Political miscalculation and clear lack of good strategy. And I own up on behalf of the region.
Is this about getting into UDA without your own political
That's
party?
what I'm saying. We made many mistakes, and I own up. And I really, really want to apologize to the people of Mount Kenya region.
All right.
That probably because of lack of experience at that level, had not, dealt at that level. I committed the region to an arrangement that has come to haunt us. In my community, there is a saying that doing something wrong, something bad is not wrong. What is
Repeating
bad
it
is repeating it.
Chen,
We have learned
do they
very
give you Tuesday?
hard lessons, very painful lessons.
Oh,
That
si hapo
we
basi.
went to a marriage without proper arrangement, and we were left at the mercy
Sasa
Alright.
mimi
of the
na hiyo
president,
watu wanasikubeba nini?
which should never happen in politics. We will be more careful in future, and that is why this
So
consultation
ilifika je kitchen?
is very slow and extensive,
Huyo ndo mzee. Huyu
because we cannot afford to make a mistake another day.
You cannot afford to make a mistake. And
sure,
Mr.
yes.
Gachagua, one, you've said that you want to rally up the mountain. I've got a couple of questions which I want you to join together because we are pressed up for time. We need to be hurrying up. What makes you think that the people of the mountain